Peace and wisdom while Solid speaking. Today I want to do this deep video explaining the third eye, but more than the third eye. In order for one to understand the third eye, you have to understand the pupil. Now subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thumb me as well. What's going on, John Goat? Skywalker 420. Let's get straight into it. Of course, I'm sure most of you guys believe the third eye is right here, center of the forehead. Some of you guys view it as the pineal gland, or something in the middle of the forehead. And this is incorrect. Meaning the pineal gland is not the mathematical shape of an eye. When you're dealing with an eye, it's all about the geometrics. An eye is an eye because of the geometrics of an eye. This is the math. Mathematically speaking, a pine cone shaped thing cannot qualify as an eye. This goes to your Pisces vesica geometry, that whole equation and understanding of awareness. Now let's get into this deep topic. Peace and wisdom, Marcel Savago. The pupil of the eye, the dark part, meaning the most central part. The dark part of the eye are the pupil, the little dot that dilates or contracts, depending on lighting. Now, most people are not aware that the pupil is just an empty hole of space in the eye. Of course, you have the iris. This is the color part of the eye. Then you have the white part. I forgot what it's called. And then you have the pupil. The pupil is just dark space, meaning it's a hole in the eye. I'm not sure if many people are aware of this. And so that's the most important part of grasping. Now, the pupil of the eye is the smallest fraction of dark space, meaning think of all the dark cosmic space that everything is in. The pupil of your eye is the smallest fraction of it, meaning all of dark space and the pupil of the eye are one and the same thing. Life is a micro to macro thing, and as above, so below thing. The unconscious mind, this is the largest fraction of the universal dark space, or the biggest part, the whole of it. And so you can look at it like the pupil of the eye, nighttime, all the dark cosmic space that everything is in, and the unconscious mind are all the same things, just getting bigger and bigger on its level of life. The unconscious mind being the pinnacles of this dark space. So you have the universal darkness, and of course everything's in that. The unconscious mind that we hold within this is the pinnacles of that, like that. And so you have the pupil of the eye, the smallest piece of dark space, but it's the same as the largest part, which is the unconscious mind, or the universal darkness. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what they call it, cosmic darkness. But all the darkness of space that everything is in. Now, This is the levels of darkness. Darkness being unconsciousness truly at its heights or its pinnacles. Now, dark space, whether we're speaking a pupil of the eye or the unconscious mind, it can inhale or exhale, meaning it can pull into itself or eject out of itself. Now, reference a black hole. And then I want you to think of all of the universal darkness that everything is in. The black hole is darkness that is ejecting things out of itself. Meaning the black hole is darkness, but it's exhaling. Meaning we see things going into it, leaving our darkness. Then you have all that we have in the universe, in the dark space. That darkness inhales, meaning everything within the universal darkness was pulled in. First as light, then of course it will take form and image, or image and then a form, one and the same, before it becomes fixed. You know, matter, whether we're talking clay or stone. So think like a light, a camera. Drawing in light or the image, you get my point, into the camera. And so darkness works in that way. Like I said, dark space can inhale or exhale. Now, the cosmic dark space that everything within the universe is in, and the pupil of the eye, these are your inhaling aspects of this dark space. If y'all are not grasping, just comment, let me know. Like I said, the pupil of the eye and all of the dark universal space are the inhale aspects of dark space, meaning they pull light in. Of course, this light takes shape and form or becomes image. Peace and wisdom, my card. And so, like I said, the pupil of the eye and all of the dark cosmic space is your inhaling aspect. It is pulling light or imagery into its darkness. Then you have the black hole, as well as the penis hole, or the prostate. The prostate. These are the aspects of the darkness that is exhaling out from itself. Now, the prostate gland or the Skene's gland within the woman, both one and the same. This is your eye. You get my point? Meaning your eye has to do with the pupil. Dark space. This dark space either ejecting out from itself or drawing in. And so, the prostate is responsible for, of course you have your prostate gland. This is your almond-shaped organ. If you're talking about the Skene gland in a woman, you know, the G-spot, same shape. Being or almond-shaped, but just smaller. That is geometrically equivalent of what an eye qualifies as. You get my point? Meaning a pineal gland is the wrong shape of an eye. All boils down to mathematics. It would not have called the third eye an eye if it didn't qualify geometrically. You get it? An eye is always shaped as an almond. Or your Pisces vesica. This has to do with awareness, as I explained in the previous video. And so, The black hole is ejecting lights or stars out of our darkness, no different than the penis hole is ejecting light or energy, sperm cells, out of its darkness. Of course, the testicles being like dark cosmic space. Your stars or your sperm cells just lingering in it. Everything's micro to macro. If the pupil of the eye can be the equivalent of all of dark cosmic space, then do you get it? The prostate gland is a micro aspect of something greater. And so, the pineal gland, like I said, is not the third eye. It's the prostate gland. If you're speaking a woman, the Skene's gland. When you're dealing with the third eye, it's always viewed as... Think like when you see Indians put the red dot on their forehead. So of course this is where we get the thought, okay, the third eye has to do with something central brain. No, it's speaking in this spot down. You have one eyeball, two eyeballs, and then you have a third one that works just like the two eyeballs up here. See, the two eyeballs up here, they cross at the optic chiasm. So right above or below the thalamus, which is almond shaped, meaning it can qualify as the third eye. Now, as above, so below. If you go down to the male reproductive, so it's the exact same thing, meaning you have a brain below and a brain above. The two testicles is like the eyes, they go up, and you have the central part, which is like the prostate. I put an image on the comment section of this channel. You can look, get a perspective, show you how they blend in together. And so if you're familiar with Taoism, they view the third eye as the most potent piece of energy, or the most centralist piece of energy that we hold or harness, and it's associated with the sixth chakra. The sixth chakra is down there near the prostate. You get it? And so the third eye has to do with when you see people meditating, or however you want to view it, and they're kind of focused here, that's why. Meaning when you're dealing with Kundalini, third eye knowledge, it has to do with the reproductive system, whether you're speaking man or woman. It's speaking of that aspect. That's your hidden eye, or I guess both aspects of the brain is hidden, meaning the upper one and the lower one. But that's your hidden brain. Now, of course, you have 9 brains, but I don't want to confuse y'all. The heart is a brain. Liver, lungs, these things are brains. This goes back to your Kabbalah knowledge. 10 spirits of Ein Sof, your 10 sounds, 10 vibrations, manifesting out within the body. So, all the knowledge has to do with the vesicle. All the knowledge manifests out in the Kaaba, or vesicle. Now, of course, the third eye is also viewed as the gate to higher realms of consciousness, or spaces. And so, of course, you have the pupil of the eye. It's pulling light in to its darkness. Of course, this light takes shape and form before it becomes matter. When you're dealing with below, like I said, a black hole is darkness, but this aspect is the exhale, or the ejecting out. When you're dealing with the prostate and the penis and that whole male reproductive system, so it's the same. That coincides with the unconscious mind. So when I said the unconscious mind is the pinnacles of the darkness, dark cosmic space that be, so grasp, it is ejecting light or energy out. And that light or energy is going to highest realms or spaces of consciousness. Remember when I said wherever there's space, there's mind, meaning mind and airs one and the same. Y'all view in this outer world, but the smaller life within y'all don't. But when it's ejaculated out or ejected out, so now it's in higher realms of consciousness or space, meaning it's in the same realms y'all are in now. So it's explaining that, but most don't realize we live within a body, meaning the world we live in is a body. And so all the knowledge coincides with that. That's why I said all manifest out in the body. Are y'all following? Peace and wisdom, El God. So y'all gonna have to change y'all names. Stay started. Peace and wisdom, Crystal Jefferson. I'm assuming that y'all grasp. Can I get some thumbs up? If you have any questions, y'all can ask. And so this how nature works. You got your many levels of darkness, dark space, starting with the pupil of the eye. Nighttime. The universal darkness that all is in. And then last but not least, the unconscious mind, which is the pinnacles of this dark space. Of course, y'all unconscious minds, it pulls in light or image. No different than the pupil of the eye, except it's not pulling it. You get it? Like that. The unconscious mind coincides with the male or female reproductive. And so when y'all are in dream, y'all are pulling in light from somewhere because y'all have images and form, and you get it? And dream is in the unconscious space. Meaning when y'all in y'all darkness, then somehow light is drawn in. Like that. And so when you're dealing with the meditation aspect of this, that's the important part that y'all have to grasp. Dark space and how light can be pulled into it or ejected from it. Now, of course, when you in unconsciousness, you don't really have the control. But when you're awake, you can close your eyes and go into that darkness. You get my point? Having an understanding of the orders of self. Of course, you have to be more learned in this video, but I'm just giving you a perspective. If you went through your orders of understanding things, when you're meditating, you'll get way better results because you'll have a full perspective of what you're doing. The orders of things. I'm sure you can go to a Buddhist monk and they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you what I said because, like I said, you got to know a thing to know a thing. So you got surface level wisdom that you know all common people know. And some people know this common knowledge better than others. Then you got the sacred understanding, meaning the simple understanding that the public just don't have. But I grasp why. You have to be in a certain state of mind, you know, to take in wisdom. Peace and wisdom, John Gold. If you have a question, ask it. You don't need to be, you're not going to learn. You can't learn insecure. It's like I say, the ego has many expressions. When y'all get scared and insecure, this is the ego, the low ego. So you can't let nobody push your ego down. Then you're going to be on the low ego side, trying to convince people to be a low ego. Convince people to be a low ego haver. It's not about that. So keep yourself balanced. Don't let the ego get beyond what it needs to be. But don't let it get low to where you like you is now, doubting yourself. I want to ask a question, but I don't know yet. Flow. Things is good like that when you just flow. Let me get to your question now, God. You said, I don't see your question. There's no question up top. Maybe you put some foul language or something in it, but you're gonna have to write it again. And so, when you're dealing with Kundalini meditation, third eye knowledge, it lies in the biology, meaning you have to have an aspect of biology or understand biology somewhat. Common person don't have a desire to learn the technicalities of things. You get my point? And so, entertainment is easier. Cartoons, TV is easier. But if the mind can mature, then y'all will come to a place where y'all realize I can do many things with the mind. There's many places and spaces within the self that I can go. There's many aspects of self I can learn in these spaces and places. Meaning all y'all don't know about life and self is the most entertaining thing. You get my But the mind has to be mature. And mature mind more impressed with fiction. It's easier to follow. And so this is why y'all have entertainment. And keep y'all from yourselves. If y'all sit with yourselves too long, then y'all may become aware of the many aspects of self and how entertaining it is. Meaning if you knew how to meditate and the purpose of it, you wouldn't spend so much time looking to be entertained in the way that y'all do now, which is like to just be stuck watching something or someone, and it has nothing to do with, the mind grown. It's just more of an idle time thing, passing time thing. When you're grown, you want to keep track of your time and how it's spent. You get it? Idle time is a deep thing. Elgar, write your question one more time, champ. Salam, shalom. And so, I'll say this. Maturity has to do with the emotional state. Meaning, most people become adults, then senior citizens, and then they die, never having matured or become ripe. And I look at the mind like a fruit inside the vessel, and it has to become ripe, ready to fall from its tree. All fruits ripen when they do. You have 50 apples on a tree, they all gonna get ripe in their own time. But view that like maturity. And so when you're dealing with the self, meaning if you young, you young, you don't need to worry about this. Laughing at like I said, maturity has to do with the emotional state. Not I'm laughing at Chris. It has to do with the emotional state. When one can control the emotional state, this is when one is mature. It's not about a look. Most people try to look mature. They try to think mature. Like, what's a mature way of thinking? You get my point? But when you're dealing with maturity, it has to do with the emotional state. When one gets the emotional state under control, so the mind will perceive things different are through that filter. This is what maturity is. When the emotional state is stable and controlled by the self. In that, your mind will perceive things different. The younger person or the child, they have no emotional control, and so this is the reason why they see things the way they do. You get it? All that we perceive is filtered by the emotional state. You got raped as a child. A man gets locked up for rape. Do you understand? Now you view him through the emotional state. Or you perceive him through your filter. Now I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just giving you a perspective. That happens on many aspects. You might have had a boyfriend as a little kid and you loved him, cheating on you. And now you scarred in that way. Meaning you start to overly perceive things through the emotional state. Now when your brain, man, every nigga's a cheater, and if any little thing happen, you throw your whole relationship away before you get it? Meaning you so emotional somebody can come and control your life. And your man cheat and you so hurt and distraught, you forget, oh, there are people that don't like me and will just tell me any fucking thing to fuck up what I got. You get it? And so before you do your due diligence, the emotional state takes over. Do you get my point? Like that. Maturity has to do with the emotional state. When I say emotional state, a lot of people think emotional control has to do with having emotional blockage, where they act like they're unaffected by things or they act as if they have control. If you're acting like you have control, you get it? It's not about that. It's about honesty with self. Actually getting to a place where you have emotional control. When I say emotional control, meaning you lend your emotions to what you choose is worthy instead of being drawn in. Meaning you still have emotions, but you control when you lend them out. I'll lend y'all ear and y'all eyes and y'all attention to things. Aggravate y'all. But y'all don't look at it from a perspective like, there's a whole bunch of things going on. I'm gonna look and observe and decide, what I want to attach myself to emotionally. Y'all kind of just controlled by the emotions. And so the thought process is like that. The mindset is like that. And so maturity has to do with emotional control. Not a look. Little kids are going to try to look grown. And adults are going to try to think like, how can I sound smart? Never taking the time to deal with the emotional state and say, man, my stupidity is a result of that. You get it? Meaning everybody's stupidity or their lack in thought and good decision making has to do with that. Never took a time out to control the emotional state. And so in that, the thoughts become all over the place. Crystal Jefferson said, I keep falling asleep when I try to meditate, even when I'm sitting up. Because you're probably a fat, lazy now. Because you're probably a fat, lazy slut. No, I'm just some of y'all fat and scarred, I'm sorry, but practice. Practice makes perfect. you gotta be tested, big baby. That's the only way. Whatever bothers you, you gotta come to terms with it. Once you come to terms with it, it won't bother you that much. That's the first steps of adjusting. Meaning if a thing bother you, you say, man, you so fat motherfucker, huh? You love Krispy Kreme donuts. You love you some Krispy Kreme donuts, don't you? If you like, yeah, that shit pissed me off. That means you don't like being fat. You gotta adjust that shit when you get to a place where you can. But first, you can adjust the emotional state. Say, it ain't that deep. Motherfuckers don't care like that. You know what I mean? People just say dumb shit when you get it. Y'all take it all the way personal. because the self already beating the self down. So you got to take the self out of it and say, all right, I can't beat myself down too. That's what's making the external beating really work, because I'm beating myself up about it. Come to terms with things. I don't know how. It has nothing to do with that either. But whatever it may be. Some of y'all got mental conditions. We got a lot of that in the daytimes. And then a lot of women have bipolar problems. You know, a little thrown off in the head. To get that shit. I might want to get that shit together a little bit. I don't know. Try something. Now, you keep falling asleep when you meditate. It's because you're not mature enough to meditate. It's like I tell y'all try to do things. Y'all have no true understanding on what y'all doing. And so, if you go into the abyss and you don't know what you're doing, you are going to fall asleep. Yeah. If you close your eyes and don't really know what you're doing, look at it like that. If I tell y'all all, everybody close their eyes, make it silent where you are, close your eyes, and so y'all like, okay, why? Just keep it like that, hold that vibration, y'all gonna fall asleep. This is what it is when y'all doing things. Y'all say, I'm gonna meditate, but never really haven't been learned. It's very little people that truly know how to meditate. You just got a lot of exploiters of markets, wisdom. And so most people gonna sit and fall asleep. Start daydreaming about dumb regular stuff they normally do. It's not going nothing's gonna happen. They don't even know what's supposed to happen. And so start here. If you're somebody that's trying to get an understanding of self and your oneness with nature and yoga, breathing, meditation, and all the points of these things. And like I said, it's not just a video thing. You're not gonna learn these things from watching me talk to you about it. You get my point? It could just help your perspective to grasp, like you don't know what you're doing. Whoever teach you don't really know what they're doing. They know the common, but the mind has to be matured first. Meaning these is the important parts y'all skip over. Before you trying to meditate and all that and isolate yourself and do what wise people do, you are not mentally or emotionally stable to do it. And you have to take accountability for that. You get my point? It's like a kid. I wouldn't lock a kid away. They're gonna lose their fucking mind. They're a kid. They don't understand things. Adults are like that. You can't just isolate yourself and you have to be in a certain mind state, the emotional state. You get my point? You have to be in a certain place of maturity to do these things. Y'all are just jumping into these things. You don't play with the mind because this is how the mind gets tangled up. A lot of y'all tried isolation. When I first came, I was the one that said, like, I got all the wisdom I got from isolating myself or sequestering myself away for a time. I also told y'all, don't try nothing I say until you get the proper teaching or grooming on it. You get my point? It froze on my end, but make sure you get the proper teachings, the all the way thing, not just whatever I give out here. I don't. You get my point? I'm just making a point in the video. You can learn from the point, but like I said, the mind has to be mature. You have to get to a place where before y'all sequester yourselves or isolate yourselves and try different things that y'all are trying, get an understanding. Meaning a lot of y'all are lost into falsehoods. So a lot of y'all are lost into astrology and divination practices. You don't understand what that is. Meaning you like playing with stones and energies, but you don't know what you're doing. It's just popular at the time. Y'all play with stones and y'all don't really have an understanding of things. And the chemistry between things. Meaning these things have a chemistry on you. It's like substance. Putting metals on this self. This is chemistry with the self. Those metals are going to affect the emotional state of the person. It's like anything y'all bring to self. You get my point? This is energies merging. When I say chemistry, we speaking things mixing. When y'all drink alcohol, y'all get drunk because there's a chemistry that's happening. Your liquid within, you're mixing liquid into that doesn't belong, and so you create a chemistry set out of yourself. It's the same with metals. Y'all have metals within self. When a person put on a chain, then you can see how their whole persona slowly changes. They become addicted to the chain, the jewelry. Now, somebody that y'all know that wear jewelry, a rapper or something, tell them to take off all their jewelry and don't wear it no more. They can't. They like a drug addict with it. They don't even feel the same no more. They become bonded to it. If you got jewelry, you know what I mean. You like, when I used to wear jewelry, I used to feel funny without it. Like I'm not me or some shit. You get it? If you wear jewelry, you feel the same way. But it's because of that. It plays on the psyche and the emotional state like any of the elements of life when you merge them into self. The point I'm making is when y'all indulge into these practices like that, and then you like, I'm going to meditate, you doing a whole different practice. I'll say it again. You got light and dark magic, all good and bad things. Now, when y'all meditating while playing with stones earlier in the day, you get it? I'm a Saurus and all of that. Your mindset is not on what's good, let's say. And so now when you go into the darkness or decide I'm going to isolate myself for a time and do the my wise thing, you playing with negative energies. You will be the equivalent of somebody going in a dark cave or isolating themselves because they want to learn magic. You get it? Like in Islam, you have people who desecrate the Quran. They may lock themselves away in a cave like Jibril did, trying to summon the spirits upon themselves so they can have, whatever it is they seeking, whether it be wealth, great talents, whatever. And so do you get my point? They're going through the same procedure as somebody who is doing it on a good path. But the intention is not the same. So let's say, man, I want to get my life together, man. Let's say you say that to me. I want to get my life together. You got a good heart and spirit, good mind. You don't really dibble and dabble with all of the society stuff. You get it? Trying to fit in. You an astrologist one moment. You playing with stones and rocks and metals. You don't do all of that. You just try to keep everything solid. You just wanna get to a place of oneness with nature and get more pure in your spirituality, let's say. So I tell you, isolate yourself for a time so you can separate, yourself from society. Therefore, you can see how brainwashed you are by society, how influenced you are. Meaning a lot of how y'all are, y'all characteristics and the way y'all are is from what y'all see every day. Influences all around y'all. But if a lot of y'all are removed from y'all environments and left by y'allselves for maybe 6 months, you'd be a whole different person. Your true self, because you have nothing to mimic or influence you. In that, you just evolve into your natural person, who you are. And so I would tell somebody like that, yeah, you separate for a little while because you're a good person. You don't really flip-flop around and do strange things. Now, let's say one of y'all are like, how the women are in the daytime. You play with your little medals and play with your signs and symbols. You've convinced yourself you're a witch like your ancestors. Now, your ancestors wasn't a witch like that. Your ancestors just had understanding of the roots of the plants, meaning they knew roots. All the plants hold substance. medicinal, poisonous, whatever. And they understood which plants can be merged with other plants, meaning their substances. And they use it to heal you, harm you, whatever they chose. And pharmaceutical medicine is based on that. It's like your pseudo gaming up. When you're dealing with mixing and merging plant substances, this is what's called spirit summoning. Of course, when you're talking spirit, you're talking substances. So y'all get like wine. Y'all go to the liquor store, say wine and spirit. Y'all buy y'all substance. Y'all drink it. The chemistry starts. Spirit summoning. Meaning y'all summon up different characters within self. So a motherfucker drink, now they a whole different person. You say every time this nigga drink, he start acting like some nigga I don't know. Like that. Spirit summoning. It's like I tell y'all, the spirits is in the spine. Everything within life is within self. The devil, God, all the angels, all the demons, all these qualities and ideals y'all have heard of, they lie within self. Like that. And so in the past, you can mix and merge substances within the plants and use it to heal a person. You can use it to make a person go, crazy. Psychedelic stuff. You can use it to poison them and kill them. You can use it to give them a disease. You get my point? Many different things you could do with roots. When I say roots, we talking about plant roots. That's what roots is. Y'all have the wrong perspective. Y'all think it's like, oh, we talking to ghosts. No, y'all already under the sorcery. Y'all minds have already been blasted off. Like that. And so, in the past, if you're thinking like my ancestor was a witch doctor, that meant she was more in line with a scientist. Not somebody that's just, you get it? Y'all watch a lot of TV, do a lot of talking and chanting. That ain't nothing. That's the hocus pocus bullshit. But when you're getting down to the real magic, it got to do with the real science. You get it? Your grandma, she knew them plants. And that's a real science subject in school. And she knew it better than that. She had all that shit in the backyard. Like that. Say, go get me that twig and go get me a hen, a chicken. Go get me a chicken's feet. I say, what the fuck, grandma want me to go get her that plant, a chicken's feet, and some cat blood? She about to do voodoo on me, blood. But she got a better understanding of nature than you. You get it? Think like a frog. That shit got DMT on it. Your grandma tell you, go get me that twig out back and get me that little frog. You say she gonna put voodoo on me. No, she want to get the DMT off the frog. That's medicine. She ain't a Babylon monkey. She don't know about a city and a pharmacy. She know organics. Go get that toad. That shit got medicine on it. Take the slime off of it. Give me that. Go get me that twig. Within the root of it, you got this substance. I'm going to mix it with that because it's going to take away the psychedelic effect now. And the DMT will just heal you of whatever little problem you may have. They was doing that. They wasn't doing no spooky, weirdo shit. Now, of course, you can make a disease like that too. Make somebody sick like that if you want. Whatever you choose. You can give them, making alcohol is that. We talking the corn plant. Like that. Spirit summoning, mixing and merging different substances from animals, plants. You even got the dark magic aspect. When you're talking about a dead bodies start producing substances that you ain't gonna never see in life until a thing die. Meaning you ain't never gonna be able to get these substances unless a human body die. And you could catch it, you get it? And so you got the mixing and merging of those substances too, meaning this thing go ugly deep. That's why it was banned. You got people waiting for people to die so they could get some of their dead blood. Cause that shit's a little different than dead blood, a little different than living blood. And then your body start releasing certain gases and fluids and things when you die that they don't when you alive. And so do you get it? And have people killing people just so they can get these certain substances. And there's a lot of strange things you can do with these things. Meaning you have mixtures of things, different substances that can make y'all fly. You have different mixtures of substances that can bring a person back to life. It's called anastasis in the past, resurrection. Same way y'all have anesthesia. They'll knock you out like you dead. I suppose if nobody ain't monitoring you, or they make it as strong as they possibly can, wouldn't anesthesia be classified as a substance mixture that you can shoot somebody up with and just kill them? They just fall out dead like that. Wouldn't that have to have a reversal? Everything got a reversal. This your light and dark magic. I'll whip up some anesthesia and knock your ass out, and now you dead. Nobody know how to bring you back. Meaning you're really dead. But not so, because I influenced it on you. Meaning that anesthesia running through you. I gave you some strong anesthesia, so even when it run off, you're still going to be dead. You dead for real. But if another sorcerer or scientist is wise enough, so they know the reverse of anesthesia. If you say, man, what is the reverse of? Think when a boxer get knocked out, they put that shit in the nose. That's a mixture of substances. Nigga, wake the fuck up out of dead land. Think of something like that real strong. Bring a nigga back to life is so powerful. Y'all don't know how deep this thing go. Y'all die because y'all just don't know. It's like there was a time when men didn't know CPR. You know how many niggas drowned and died that they could have been revived. It could have been, what do you call it, resuscitated? It could have been brought back. But nobody around knew that art. Nobody was taught CPR. So motherfucker drowned, he's like out, they like, damn, he's dead. They don't know what to do. Like that. You can go deeper. You have people get shot, hit by cars, they dead. Then they come, they clear, boom, shock them back to life. If men don't know that, you know how many people have an accident, die, and then they just be dead? Because men don't know, like, oh, I can get my defibrillator machine and shock their ass back to life. Meaning electricity, I don't want to say too much, but awareness has to do with light. That's energy, electricity, shit like that. Now, light too different from electronics. Little charge. Little charge here and there. Dead motherfucker be alive again. Death is just the merging of sounds, chemistry of sounds. Life too. So, sounds is like airs they make for substances. So death is just, like I said, 8 to 12 sounds. Life too, merged together. Of course, once merged, you get substance. Mucus and semen. Both of these things being the manifestations of these sounds. The merging of the sounds of life manifests semen. The merging of the sounds of death, they manifest mucus, which is the opposite of semen. The thick, yolky, nasty, brown, greenish yolk. Semen being the opposite. Clean, white mucus. Semen could qualify as mucus. I don't see any scientists that would disagree with that. Semen is a mucus. It's a thick, nasty mucus. You spit of some sort. So in ancient texts, when you hear like the gods made man from spit, talking about that spit. Semen, which looks just like spit. So, simple things, meaning Y'all get better results if y'all understand things better. But the overall point, because I know I done wandered off, y'all minds have to be mature before y'all learn to meditate. Until it is, y'all gonna fall asleep or daydream when trying to meditate. And so maturity got to do with the emotional state, meaning you have to learn to control yourself. But some of y'all are not going to get it. Crystal Jefferson said I was trying to help my anxiety. You don't meditate to help anxiety. Meditation ain't got nothing to do with that. Get my point? Anxiety got to do with you anxious. For what? Y'all waiting for Jesus and a whole bunch of shit to come. You feel me? Aliens, Jesus, shit like that gonna make you anxious, my nigga. You're a Babylon monkey. And some of y'all still waiting for your daddy to come back. My mama got beef and where I'm at. Inside, you waiting for y'all to get cool again, and y'all just waiting and anxious. Too much waiting and hoping. This disturbs the psyche. You got a lot of afflictions that y'all overlook and how they affect the psyche. So, you're waiting on Santa Claus. I mean, some of y'all setting y'all kids up now to have anxiety. Wait, think of Santa Claus. So you like, man, tomorrow's Christmas. That's the night you can't go to sleep for shit. Any other night you could crash out, but not on Christmas Eve. Kid trying so hard to fall asleep, but they can't. Why? Because they so anxious to open up them toys. They got anxiety. You like, if y'all don't sit the fuck down and go to sleep, y'all ain't gonna have Christmas tomorrow. Because you know Christmas Eve is grown-up time. Put the babies to sleep. Bust that eggnog open with the wine. Bust that eggnog open with the Hennessy all in it, and grown-ups get to their get thing. Kids sleep. But like I said, on Christmas Eve, kids don't want to go to sleep. Instead of just been through a lot. And so, y'all like that. Kids waiting for Christmas. Y'all got anxiety, anxiousness. And so you have to sit with the mind. That's what I said. You have to take the time to self every day, at least an hour. Sit, breathe, stretch. Adjust the mind, adjust the perspective. Practice makes perfect. The same way y'all wake up every day with y'all stink ass attitude and y'all stink ass thoughts. This is practice. You on your way now. You don't have to practice no more. It just happens. But so the reverse is the same. If you do that, then that will become the norm, and you won't have to practice to be nice and happy. It will be your norm. Raunchy Juice said, wine, woo-hoo. I don't drink, sorry. Once in the blue moon. John Gall says, sometimes I experience a bounce when falling asleep, like hitting a wall between sleep and wake. I have no clue what you're talking about, Chan. Dream is in between unconsciousness and awake. Some of y'all have to get out of y'all childish mindset. Some of y'all have this perspective where it's like you have to look like you smart or you know something. Let it be. I don't know how to explain it to y'all. I'm wise for real, so you have to make real sense when you're talking to me. Just ain't no walls in consciousness, big baby. You got to get real. Get it? We all can close our eyes right now and go into darkness. You're present there. You sit there long enough and you know what to do, meaning you know what to be aware of. First, you're going to hear yourself talking to yourself. Probably everything around you. You get my point? Sit and control that. Once you do that, then you're going to see like a pulsating thing. Meaning the mind is like sticky papers. It's desperate to is desperate to grab something. So every time you take something from it, then you become aware of something else that it reaches for. So first you hear your own voice and all the things around you, but you say, no, 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 stop talking to self, just be clear and open. So you don't give the mind nothing to pull for. It's pulling for you to talk to it. But you say, no, I'm not. I'm shh, shh. This is you to self. Shh. We ain't doing that. We just gonna be aware and present. So now you hear all the sounds and things around you because you're not talking to yourself. You're just listening. The mind ain't satisfied with that, so it start pulling from things within inside the mind space. So you're gonna start to see pulsating. You get it? It ain't nothing physical, but it's like bubbles of darkness, waves. You can count it like 1, 2. Okay, there go 1. Okay, there you go again. You'll become aware of it. Remember, you're not talking or distracting yourself, talking to yourself or distracting yourself. You're just listening to the outer sounds. You're present. So now the mind pulls you in. You no longer hear the sounds outside. You're like, what the fuck is that pulsating? Then you have to adjust yourself again. Oh, I'm talking. Whoa, 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 shut up. You get it? Meaning, it should go deep. I'll have to talk you all the way through it. But meditation is more like that. We'll start off like that. And after that pulsating, so it gets a little gangster after that. Try to grasp. But meditation ain't for y'all like y'all emotional problems. Anxiety fall more in bipolar, schizophrenic, mental problem shit. Of course, the anxiety ain't to that effect. It's a disturbance. It's when the self is disturbed in a way. You get my point? And so, mild mental problems. Meditations ain't for that. You got to manually fix mental problems. You get my point? But breathing, stretching, these things, that's like what I mean by manually. You're gonna have to manually take hold of self. But meditation is for the wise. I think y'all kind of skipping over that. Say, man, I had anxiety. I tried to meditate. Why would you think you would get anything out of it? Meditation is a practice for the wise. I don't think y'all taking the time out to truly consider what I just said. Y'all can't possibly think meditation is just something like bubblegum at the store. This is something Buddhist monks who've isolated themselves for years and have been studying self and nature for years. This is something they do. I'm just a regular old Joe. You know my point? You watch TV and shit like that. Meditation is for the wise, so you need to get wise first. Wisdom is just the shedding of all the lies and ideals y'all hold on to. And so, y'all are not moving in the flow of meditation, meaning desires is what keeps the soul bound to the body, even when the body is no more. I'm going to say it again. Desires. Y'all yearning and wanting things. Anxious has to do with that. Anxiety. But desires is the reason why the soul stay bound to the body. Even when a person dies, so if the mind still has desires, it's still bound to the vessel. Say, but they don't have a vessel. It wouldn't matter. Y'all don't have one in dream, but y'all still bound to y'all desires. So y'all be having sex in y'all dreams and finding money in desires. Man don't understand wisdom. His emotional state ain't together. Some of y'all say, man, I don't like solace. You ain't emotionally stable for wisdom. We not going on a date. My point? You don't need to like me. I ain't taking you out on no date or nothing like that. And we not about to get married. We ain't about to be roommates or nothing. So what the fuck would it matter? I don't take it. What the fuck would it matter if you like me or not? You here for what you here for, which is get fucking knowledge, and you've lost your fucking point. You get my point? Because y'all are emotional, y'all don't never get wisdom. Y'all mind drawing the judgment. Simple minded shit. You forget what you came for. Right? Get wisdom. You're not going on a date with the teacher. Some of y'all might be cute. You might can, but I have to see you first. Forget that. Forget that part. Just get my point. One has to become of how the mind works, and I can flip flop all over the place. So, like I said, the emotional state is the first stages of maturity, meaning the mind is not going to be wise until the emotional state is controlled, so that the mind can see through that filter being control and stability. And so desire is what keeps the soul bound to the body. Meditation and fasting has to do with that. One unraveling. Y'all have mad ideals, meaning they go deeper than physical desires. Y'all have physical desires. I like cupcakes and jelly beans. That, I like nice shoes, and you get it? But then, on a mental level, y'all have ideals. Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Allah is my God, and you get it? Y'all have a whole bunch of ideals that have nothing to do with anything. And so, do you get my point? This takes a long fucking time. You can't just, as wise as I am, I can't just tell y'all I'm wasting y'all time with y'all religious, man. It's this whole other shit. Real wisdom shit y'all can get into, big baby. Be smart as fuck like me. Learning more and more about the realities of life and nature every second of the day. But y'all can't just remove y'all ideas from y'all brain and be like, okay. You get my point? Like that. Even if it's proven to you, you still. It's like a woman in love with a man. You show her like your man cheating. She don't want to see it all the way. Like, get the fuck away from me. You get it? It's deeper than you just giving her the truth, but she got to live that now. And that's gonna crush her shit. You get it? And so she trying to avoid her heart being broken. It ain't so much, oh, I love him so much, I don't care what he do. But it's more like this nigga done broke my heart so much, I can't handle that right now. I don't even want to know. Tell me later. Y'all like that. You say, man, Silas broke down how we worship the devil, and I'm right, but that's your whole fucking life. So you get it? What am I supposed to do now? Like that. Y'all emotional state ain't stable. Wisdom is logic. You have to let go of the emotions. Look at it like a crutch. And trust the logic. The logic is the nature. You get it? It's the best way I can explain it. Y'all have y'all vessels. It's gonna move when y'all say. Now how y'all move is either gonna be emotionally or logically. The logic is the nature. The emotions is the self. You get it? And so if man, when I say man, I'm speaking mankind. If man can get himself to a place of logic, life will guide him. You get my point? And that's what meditation is about. Meaning when you're talking meditation and fasting, this has to do with one shedding their desires. Why does one want to shed their desires? Because life already has a plan for you, a path for you. You get it? We try to control our lives because we have desires that we are reaching for, as opposed to just falling back and say, life already have a plan for me. If I let go and let life control, so when I'm 35, I'll have all the wealth and riches and stuff I want. You get it? But you want it at 20. You don't know nothing about down the road in 35. You get it? This person over here, they different than you. They gonna get their wealth at 25 and be broke at 35. And then retain it again at 55. This is the plan life have for them. This is how life wants them to learn. Like that. We don't know that, so we try to control shit ourselves, and that we distort the life plan and fall short on our own. Never fully getting the glory that was set up for us. That all got to do with letting go and flowing with life. Are y'all following what I'm saying? But meditation and fasting have to do with that. Meaning when you first start if you was learning under me these things, learning how to fast and meditate, you start with fasting. Of course, when you first start fasting, it's going to be forced. Meaning you're going to be struggling. You say fast tomorrow. You're going to struggle. You're going to want to eat, but you say, I can't, I'm fasting. You want to get it to a point where you're not struggling to fast. It's just something you do easy. Every every Thursday I don't eat till the sun go down. I'm talking like you. You be like that. Every Thursday I just don't eat. I don't have to put no thought or nothing into it. It's just my cycle. You ain't disturbed by it or nothing. It's easy. You want it to go from that to where you're not even aware. You get it? Meaning you have no schedule for yourself to fast. Your vessel naturally just doesn't eat one day. Yesterday I fasted. That's when you're one with nature and life, nature will take care of it. And you be aware of it. You get it? Some days y'all don't eat. Not because you don't have no money or something. You just been busy. You're running around, you're doing this or that, and you like, damn, I gotta eat. Next thing you know, the sun done set. You haven't ate all day, but you look at it like, I gotta fucking eat. I fucked up. You don't look at it like, nature just set this day aside for me to fast. I need to clear self out. Everything worked out perfect for that. You get it? Not running around today, not being able to eat, worked out perfect. I'm fast. You get it? Like that, being aware, like, oh, life just taking care of things, don't want me to eat today. You focus on what I'm doing, I don't have to think about it. Meaning you fast and don't even realize you fasting. This is when it's done naturally. This is when the self don't have desires. If you got desires, you're gonna be aware like I didn't eat. If you have no desires to eat, you just eat because you know you will die if you don't. So you're like, let me nibble on something every so often. Well, you could go long periods of time without eating and not even be thinking or conscious of it. Somebody have to remind you, like, eat. Say, oh yeah, I forgot all about that, big baby. Like that. Now, of course, you have more habits and desires than food, but food is the most potent habit we have. We don't even count it as one. And so this is what fasting is about. Shedding the desires. Once the desires are fully shed, one doesn't even realize when the desire is not present. You get it? Meaning you don't even realize I didn't eat. Like that. Yesterday, 9, 10 o'clock came, I said, oh shit, I didn't even eat today. And I went and got me some good. That's what fasting is about. I went and got me something good. Make up for the day. But I'm aware, like, oh, that was cool. It make it good. It make the meal good. It make the emotional state, the mind, all that good. Meaning when I became aware, hold on, I didn't eat. But sometimes I get lost in I'm a scientist, so I be getting lost in my science. I'm aware of it in that way. I say, oh, yes, today was a good day for me to fast. Worked out perfect. Not trying to control the life, let it flow. Once you learn to flow with life, it's like I said, life have a path and a plan for y'all. And it's good. It's nice and balanced. You're going to get the amount of hardship you need so you learn, because learning is just hardship. And then you're going to get recess from that shit. That's good times. So you have bad times, which is learning, and then recess. Y'all call that good times. And this is all good. All balanced. And we try to control it. We get bad times. We act like we not supposed to have none of the bad. Shit get bad and we like, no. You're running from that bad, trying to make it right, then you make the bad longer. You make the bad go into the season it wasn't even supposed to go into. You get it? Some of y'all got hardship. Y'all trying to avoid it. But you see it up the road like, damn, I done fucked up. This ain't gonna end up good. But you figuring it out. Like, nah, I'm gonna make this thing work. So you gonna drag that shit out as long as you can, but you gonna hit the brick wall at some point. Like that. When you gonna hit it in the season, you should have got it over with when it happened. Now you suffering through it in a season that wasn't even meant for that. And that the hardship drag on. Some of y'all got hardship you've been going through for years. It was just a hardship that was supposed to be one season for you. I'm gonna say it again. Some of y'all got hardship y'all been struggling with, and poverty and shit y'all been struggling with for years. And that was only supposed to be a seasonal thing. Somehow, you get it? You interfere with life trying to avoid you get it? Save out your good times beyond they times. And you get my point? Drug dealers go through that. Trying to overdo it, knowing like, nigga, you need to take yourself a break. No, I'm just gonna stretch these good times out a little longer, big baby, and end up in jail. Like that. Instead of just saying, you get it? The block a little slow today. Now he wanna go all over here and over there and over exerting instead of just accepting, oh, today is a slow day, money gonna be slow, whatever. Next thing you know, he in jail or he done went over there and got his ass shot up. You get it? Trying to control the path of nature. Just kick back, be aware. That's all y'all have to do. Kick back, be aware, life take care of everything. You observe it, and that is a nice ride. It's a good time. Y'all have a lot of ideals that y'all have to live up to, that y'all convince yourselves that y'all have to. No one cares about. Y'all do. And so y'all try to live up to these ideals. Most of the ideals y'all live up to got to do with wealth and fronting like you are wealthy. And so most of y'all are poor. And so y'all have rich man burden all on y'all, but y'all poor. So then do you get my point? Now you got anxiety and all types of mental problems and insecurities. I'll say it again. A lot of y'all poor. You watch YouTube and all this shit all day. Now you got rich man burdens. Meaning you convince yourself you rich, you supposed to have what the wealthy have. And that y'all put yourselves in the minds. Insecurities and all type of mental and emotional problems. From now. And so, want to be in the right environment. Peace and wisdom. Birthmatic. I don't grasp what you're saying, Cat Daddy. K-Flame, what did Darrell say? Let me see. I don't even see a Darrell. But if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. I'm going to depart soon. Of course, y'all know I believe in balance. I see y'all not adjusting yourselves. Tristan gets this said, what do you think about seeing the same numbers everywhere? Nothing. You see your neighbor every day. Why you don't be like, oh, I was a divine? And that's what I think of y'all. I be like, I see 11, 11, and 3. Y'all are just lost people of the times in society. You see things, you like it. You get lost, start dumb talking. But if you see 1111 or this number or that number all the time, you see the numbers on your mailbox every day. Why that's not special? I'm going to say it again for the slow. You see the mailbox numbers on your mailbox, your door, every day. Wouldn't that count like the same if you see 1111 on a clock every day? You can't say, no, that's different. How? You didn't have to walk past your mailbox. When you walk by your mailbox every day in the morning at the same exact time to go to work, why that ain't deja vu and special shit? Like, why it only count when y'all wanted to? That's my point. Be lost on fools. Y'all be lost on society, talking nonsense, but nature don't teach you numbers. That's systematics, that's curriculum. So you could just use that to see how lost you is in society. I see numbers all the time. Yeah, you're a Babylon monkey. Telephone numbers, social security numbers, clocks for lunch break, clocks for punching out. So I'm sure you do see numbers all the time. Because you see numbers so fucking much, I'm quite sure you do see the same ones a lot. I don't see numbers that much. I don't see numbers that often. Say, Silas, you ain't never see 1111 on the clock? I don't look at clocks. I do what I want. I show up when I want. I leave when I want. I go to bed when I want. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't have to be like, what time is it? Because I got to work in the morning. It don't matter what fucking time it is. I'm staying up or I'm going back to sleep. The point I'm making is, y'all under sorcery. It's called numerology and spells, and so the mind is plagued. Try and grasp. Stupid on here. Peace and wisdom, Sean Fletch. So okay, thank you for the give back to whoever had, some sort of honor and balance with they self. I was gonna go a little deeper in terms of, the meditating and the purposes of it. It having to do with one learning to let go of their ideals. Why y'all ain't telling me my shirt was all sloppy? Letting go of ideals, certain things like that. Well, everything. The pinnacles of wisdom is shedding every aspect of the self. Like I said, the desires, this is what keeps the self bound to the vessel, even after death. So that's what makes it bad. It's cool you bound to the vessel now, you alive. This is good. But when you die, this is not. While you're alive, you're just raking up desires and shit. Do you get it? A baby is born, they have no desires. They're bound to their body, but it doesn't matter because they're not truly bound to it because they have no desires of the flesh yet that they developed. And so if that baby died right in that moment, it's free. When a person died, they ain't free because they bound to the vessel, meaning the desires, all the things they experience while in the vessel. They're bound to that. Everything. Even their name that they got from that vessel. Like that, if I tell y'all, forget y'all name. Forget everything. Y'all like, hell no. I ain't forgetting my name, my mama, my kids, I'm not. You're gonna be bound to your vessel. Say that ain't right. Forget about my kids and my mama. If you spend the proper time with people and not sell yourself to life, then you won't have these problems. Y'all don't want to accept that what y'all cities do to y'all. They take y'all from y'all family, keep y'all separated, and then they died, and y'all be like, I didn't get to spend enough time with. While you fucking slaving, you all over here, all over there, you want to be everything in life. You get it? Like that. Locked in, spending time with your loved ones. And you won't have to feel no kind of way. Say, me and my loved ones ain't that close. Well, don't be greedy then. You know them. They know you. Y'all had good times. Cherish it. Like that. Y'all be stuck. So, fasting, then meditating has to do with that. Shedding all ideals so one can pass across the abyss. The abyss being the unconscious state of the mind. Coincides with the vessel. So, don't need to slide beyond those realms. But most can't. So then, the soul which is theirs manifests their substance again. And then they become clay. Trapped in their vessels again. They're speaking minds or souls. Once that happens, they become bound to desires, ideals, falsehoods. And then it's hard to take these things from them. So they can move forward. I'm not sure if that's clear. Hopefully y'all grasp. Like I said, I was going to go a little deeper. But y'all don't have proper love for me. I'm not understanding why, but I need to be where people love and support me and respect my mind and my efforts, things like that. And so I was going to go into I Ching and Chi, which has to do with meditating and fasting and shedding desires. I Ching having to do with like flipping coins, heads or tails. This is like y'all on a micro level, y'all letting life or nature decide. You get it? Say who gonna go first. Man could decide, or he could just flip a coin. Say we gonna let the natures decide. Throw the coin in the air, wherever it fall, you call heads or tails, that'll determine it. I Ching like that, except you got like 64 options. Flip the coin 64 times. You know what? Say you're gonna go to work tomorrow or call in, flip the coin. But of course, you have different possibilities of those two aspects. You call in tomorrow, you might get fired or you might keep your job. Then on the other side, say if you stay home tomorrow, you might die. Hit it? I change like that. You have your 64 characters or possibilities. And it's like grooming one into letting life take control. Like I said, I was going to go into that. But, like I said, y'all don't have proper love for me. I don't want to disturb myself. So hopefully y'all grasped and enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up too. Peace and wisdom, Lion Zion. Yeah, YouTube be killing me with the 30% when y'all do give me a little super chat things. So it's best to do it on my PayPal, Cash App, things like that, Venmo. But try and grasp. Ranchi Juice said, are you giving out candy for Halloween? I don't celebrate Hallows Eve. Look that up, Hallows Eve. All the holidays y'all celebrate are evil. But try and grasp. Flip Cool said your teachings are similar to Buddhism. Yeah, I'm like a monk. That's the closest thing I can compare myself to. That's why I say y'all be comparing me and putting me in environments of people I ain't even do it. I don't view as wise. You get my point? If y'all sat me down with a bunch of Buddhist monks, I'd feel more comfortable. Like, alright, their brain should be sharp enough to get whatever I'm saying. Because if I'm talking to Buddhist monks, so you get it? It ain't this. Shit gonna go way deep. I'm gonna go into the mathematics and everything. Like when I said the eye boils down to the mathematics. Y'all think the pineal gland is the third eye. The pineal gland is the wrong geometrics to be. All this math, angles, geometrics. You get it? The pineal gland can't be the third eye because it's shaped like a pine cone. That's a different shape, different geometric, different equation. That. And so I have an understanding of those things where I say an eye has to do with a mathematics, with geometry. It don't have to do with a word. You get it? Meaning we have the word eye, but a eye is a shape, a real thing. You get it? And so whatever is an eye or an awareness, it will be in those geometrics. That will be the mathematical equation of an eye. A nose is a specific mathematical equation. A specific geometry that you will find before a nose even manifests physically, when it's just a vibration holding its pattern. You get it? Vibration holding its pattern, that pattern manifests out physically. Y'all have pattern in y'all fingerprints and all of that. Come from the many vibrations that y'all consist of. It's like I said, like it's like 8 to 12 sounds, vibrations, patterns, merged. Y'all more than life. Y'all life inside of a vessel. So y'all got a bunch of sounds merged. A bunch of vibrations or patterns merged, but it manifests physically. And so the mouth is a vesica. See the shape? Meaning the mouth is like an eye. It has to do with an awareness. Do you get it? Awareness has to do with sight. Seeing. That's why I said all the senses are just expressions of sight. Smelling, like that. Y'all smell cake, cake pop in the brain. It's an extension of your sight. If your mama say, bring your ass upstairs, you know your mama voice from others' voices, she pops in your head. Her voice or sound is an extension of your seeing. Like that. But sight or awareness itself is always shaped like the vesica, or a specific equation, geometrically or mathematically, both the same. You get my point? And so a woman's vagina, it's an eye, meaning it's an awareness. Of course, awareness pops out of it, but do you get my point? Same with y'all mouths. It's an awareness. Y'all use it to bring awareness. Y'all speak the thoughts out of y'all mind. You get it? When you're speaking words, these are literal thoughts that you're pushing out of the brain. The brain is the awareness, or the throne of it. Like that. You get my point? And so you will always know what a thing is from its geometrics. Peace and wisdom, Griffmatic. Visinia. Thank you. Peace and wisdom, love. Peace and wisdom, Crystal Jefferson. Hopefully y'all use this wisdom, apply it to self, get a little better. Know this. You know, when y'all get to a place where y'all are more settled, you know, I can teach y'all how to meditate, stretch, breathe, the purposes of these things on the real level, where you can see for yourself. I want y'all to all do this. Feel behind your ears for the tension and slowly stretch it, like pull with your fingers, while kind of lightly stretching, you know. and breathe. And then you tell me if your breathing doesn't clear up. Meaning while you're moving your neck around, stretching your neck, pulling at the back of, this the part of the back of your ear, not the ear itself, just the bone behind it. Now sinus is clear. If your sinuses is clear, meaning if your nose is hella clear now, put up a 1 or something. If it is, so like that. I have to learn y'all points. And the point of stretching has to do with that. Breathing as well. So, Divine Minds TV put up a 1. I suppose you did it right. E-Dub. Suppose you did it right. And it's more than that. And then head direction is important in terms of blockage. So if you stretch your neck that way and breathe in, you're going to feel this nose clear out. If you do it the other way, depending on how much mucus is built up, you'll slowly start to feel that nostril clear out. But it's not just the nostril, it's the vision in the ears, all of it. The senses itself can become a little blocked. Some of y'all probably breathing good as fuck right now. You owe me a gift. You was gonna have tissue in your nose tonight. Clear your shit up in 2 seconds. Meaning I know how to do it massage wise. Right here too. There's certain points. You just have to pull on them or lightly massage them to break up the built up mucus or energy in that area. Like a blockage thing. And so I'll come back, like I said, when you guys have more love for my work. Salam, shalom.